All right. I am so sorry. All right, it is time for, excuse my voice, it's like 2 something in the morning. So it's just going to sound the way it does. But we're going to now do the next collection. This is part 3. We're going to do this section. Of course, we're going to start high and then go low. High, then low. So let's get started. Of course, up high are the eggs. So let's talk about my House of Oud collection. We're going to start here with Just Before. Now, this was the one that started me purchasing the eggs. I don't know, somehow I saw a good price on it and I picked it up and I absolutely fell in love with the egg itself. And this is a really good amber. Doesn't get talked about a lot, but it has a little citrusy beginning and it's a really good amber. So this is Just Before. Next up is Empathy. This is my absolute favorite egg. Why? Because it's pink. And look at that rose gold bottom. This is a raspberry, has some oud, but it's more of a fruity vibe. So this is more of a fruity kind of woody, kind of musky, powdery vibe. So this is Empathy. All right, next up is Almond Harmony. So it is exactly what it says it is. It is a powdery almondy vibe. So this is Almond Harmony. Next up is Dates Delight. Now this is a popular fragrance and it is spicy. It has dates in it. It has a sweetness. And you'd have to know what dates smell like. So it definitely has that date smell, but it's kind of spicy, very warm, very cozy for this time of year. So that's Dates Delight. Next up is Wind Heat. Now this is a very powdery, musky vibe. It has iris in it. It has a little spiciness with pink pepper. This is a really gorgeous powdery fragrance, especially for like the springtime. I love it for then. I don't know why I'm leaving these back here because I know I'm going to have to take them all down in a second. Okay. Next up is Ruby Red. Ruby Red is really well loved. It is a candied ginger tuberose. So if you like Lancha de Rouge, it's kind of similar, but it has a more gingery punch, and it's a little bit sweeter too because it's got the candied ginger. So it's a spicy candied ginger tuberose. Next up is Breath of the Infinite. This is a peachy, powdery, musky floral. That's exactly what it is. This is not, I'm going to be honest with you, only buy this if you get a tester bottle of it and you like those notes, because it's not anything that's just like stands out and makes you go, oh my God. But it is a really pretty spring summer fragrance. Very light, very delicate, very ladylike. Next up is Emerald Green. This is a warm, spicy, ambery vibe. It has pink pepper in it and blood orange. It has like this citrusy kind of juiciness, but it's like a juicy, spicy. And as it dries down, you get this ambery, woody, musky vibe. It is really it's a nice fragrance. I don't think it's for everybody. And unless you get it at a good deal, I wouldn't suggest paying full price for this one either. And finally, Sapphire Blue. This is a spicy vanilla. It's very warm and spicy, but it's definitely a vanilla vibe. Y'all hear how I sound? It's 2 something in the morning. I apologize, but I'm not stopping. So y'all go hear me like this. So this is, it's giving you, it has vanilla. It has tonka bean. It is a really nice fragrance for the fall. I'm going to pull it out because honestly, I forgot about this one. So I'll be pulling her out this fall. So this is Sapphire Blue. All right, so these are the black bottles. So let's go through them real quickly. We start right here. This is Ramon Monagal's Impossible Iris. I got this year. I really enjoy it. It is a kind of a um it's an let me get it out. It is a beautiful powdery iris. I really do like it. It is a classic, almost kind of classic iris vibe. So that's Impossible Iris. Then we have this classic, Signorina Mysteriosa. Ooh, let me pull it up. Signorina Mysteriosa. This is a very um, well, when Fragcom was still talking about, designer fragrances, and they didn't have to be super expensive, this was a love, and this is a really cute, sexy fragrance. So this is Signorina Mysteriosa. Then we have Alexander McQueen. This is the original, not in the original bottle. This is in a newer bottle, but this is a tuberose, and that's all I got. It's a tuberose. I haven't worn it in a while. Whoo, that was honesty, honesty, honesty. All right, so this is Guest Seductive Noir for Femme. I guess this is Femme. Now, honestly, I keep this for reference for affordable, sexy fragrances because it really is a sexy fragrance. It is kind of it has jasmine in it and iris and a little lily of the valley. So it's floral, but it's got this sweetness to it, kind of like classic sexy vibes, like a kind of sweet floral, but with like the deep vanilla sweetness and then some like jasmine, really classical florals. Oh, I'm sorry, I got too close. Shanghai Tang Black Iris. I am not going to say anything about this fragrance. If you have been on my channel, you know how I feel about this fragrance. It is one of my favorite powerhouse florals. It is a stunning, has white florals, but it has a really strong iris as you wear it. It is just gorgeous. So that is Shanghai Tang Black Iris. This is Floral Streets Ylang Ylang Espresso, and that's exactly what it is. It's definitely giving you ylang ylang and a coffee note. As you can see, I do have a dent in it. It's because I was really layering this with coffee. When I was doing like wearing a lot of coffee, this was like one of my layerings because it really works well with coffee fragrances. Let me look and see which one this is. I think this is Nina Ricci Rose Extase. One of the Extases. I can't remember which one. But anyway, it's one of the Francis Kirkjohns. I did talk about it recently. It is definitely a beautiful rose. This is a deeper rose because there's different ones in that line. And so this is a deeper one. Now this is L'Extase Rose Absolute. This is the one that is very similar to Oud Satin Mood. I wonder which one he did first because this is like powdery. It's giving you that powdery, rosy, slightly violet vibe without the oud. So this is like Oud Satin Mood without the oud. And unfortunately, it is very hard to come by because it is discontinued. And yeah, it's hard to get right now. This is Perry Ellis Saffron Rose Absolute. This is so hard to come by. I am so glad I picked this up when it was still available and it was very inexpensive. But this is such a good rose oud combination with a little spiciness from the saffron. I absolutely love this. I hate using it now because it's discontinued, hard to find, but I love it. Frank Boclet's Cocaine. Now, this is a challenging tuberose. Everybody I know who's tried it did not like in the beginning, and I did not like it either. It was a very strong, in-your-face tuberose. But after I let it stay and then didn't wear it for a while and came back to it, I absolutely love it now. It's a creamy, very, very tuberose forward. It's not for everybody. I would not suggest this. You have to be a serious tuberose lover and you got to give it a chance. All right, so this is Perry Ellis Black Vanilla Absolute. I have to be honest. I still don't know if I really like this one or love it. I just really wanted it because it was a unicorn. And so, you know, when you have unicorns and you never tried them, sometimes you get them and they're like, dang, is this what I was waiting for? I've been kind of like that about this one, but now I'm going to try it and get that out of my head and really just wear it and see how I think about it. All right, so this is Judith Lieber Minadar Oud. I talked about this either in my underrated plums or underrated ouds. I cannot remember which one. So I'm not going to go deep into it, but it is a really good, very inexpensive plummy oud, rose plum oud. So if you're looking for something like that, this would be a good suggestion. Oh boy, these are so tight in here. Do y'all see how these are? At some point I got to straighten all this out. All right, this is Aromatics in Black by Clinique. I just happened to see it and got it, but this is a very plum forward fragrance. I really do like it. I'm going to wear it more because I just got this recently. I'm going to take this down for a second. Amaroon's Golden Oud. Talked about this in my underrated ouds. It is a caramel oud and I absolutely love it. So, and this is one of the few caramels that I'm keeping in my collection. This is Valentino Donna Noir Absolute. I think that's the name of it. Anyway, this is a plum. It is so sexy. It doesn't get talked about a lot because it's kind of hard to find. It comes in and out of stock here and there, but it is gorgeous. All right, this is Molton Brown's Orange and Bergamot. Now, it's called Orange and Bergamot, but for me, it's more of orange and rose. So the orange and bergamot starts it out, and you get this really nice, juicy, citrusy vibe, sweet, you know, orangey vibe. But really, what makes it stand out to me is the florals, especially the rose. It becomes this really beautiful rose. I love it in the spring and summer. I have given it quite a little bit of a dent, but because this is like a spring and summer fragrance for me. All right, this is White Musk Smoky Rose by The Body Shop. This is the Eau de Parfum. Sadly, Body Shop is no longer around. You cannot get this, but this is this used to be one of my inexpensive, sexy fragrances. It is what it says it is. It is smoky rose, musky, smoky rose. It is beautiful. Then we have Black Musk by Body Shop. This is it. This is classic Body Shop scent when it is that sexy, just deep, rich, sexy black musk. And that's exactly what it is. Got the florals in it. It's rich. It's stunning. All right, next up is Dolce & Gabbana, The Only One Intense. We were dying for this. It don't get talked about once again, but don't worry, I'm about to bring her back out for people to remember. This is a sexy kind of coconutty. This is a winter coconut. It is so sexy. It is so good. Yes. All right, Lipstick Rose by Frederic Malle. It is a raspberry lipsticky rose. It is exactly what it says it is. It's giving you that powdery, irisy, lipsticky vibe with some raspberry on top and a beautiful rose. All right, so this is Anna Sui's La Nuit Bohème, the black bottle. There are two of them. There's another one that I want. But anyway, I bought it because I just really kind of like the bottle with the butterfly on top. This would be so cute on a younger person's vanity. But really, honestly, it is a very kind of sexy vibe. And it starts out with berries and fruitiness, and then you get a little plum and rose and jasmine. So it's actually a very kind of classic sexy vibe. All right, so this is Judith Lieber Night. True story. This is the fragrance that made me get rid of Scentbird, because when I looked this up and found out how much it was and how much I paid for a decant from Scentbird, I was sick because this whole little bottle was $20-something. And so this is Judith Lieber is, like I said, kind of underrated, but this is a really sexy vibe. It is giving night. It is giving you a little amberiness, some deep jasmine, so a nice little, sexy floral, and then it has incense. So it's like kind of giving you this incensey patchouli vibe. So this is giving sexy in a very sophisticated way for $20-something. All right, this is Bois 1920s Centenario. I absolutely love this fragrance. It is a powdery, it has kind of tropical florals like ylang ylang and frangipani, but it's not really a summer fragrance. It's an actually all the time fragrance because it's a really gorgeous powdery floral. I absolutely love it. You can see how much I love this fragrance. I'm honestly thinking I need to get a backup bottle because I waited a long time to find it here in the States. So I might just go and snatch me another bottle. All right, let's go to these last ones. Now, this one shouldn't even be here. But y'all, if y'all been around, y'all know this brick. This is Armav's Club de Nuit Intense. This is one of the first Middle Easterns that I bought, and before Middle Easterns became a thing. But this, of course, is a dupe of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir, and it is absolutely sexy and a beast. Do not spray on too much or you will choke yourself out. Okay, we are almost done with this, bro. This is Robert Piquet's Gardenia. This is a leathery gardenia, so it is a tough white floral. It is not super ladylike, and it's giving you a little tough girl with that leather in here with the gardenia. And finally, Amarud's Oud After Dark. I always call this that bad girl, bad boy fragrance. It starts out kind of peachy, oudy, but what it is, as it dries down, the beginning is okay, but it's the beauty is in the dry down. This is a sexy plum oud. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous and sexy. And it gives off bad vibes. It does in a good way. All right. So we are down here. These are my Serge Lutens, my Histoires de Parfums, and my Gallagher. I think these work together well as a little mini collection because they're all a little different. So we're going to start with Serge Lutens. I have done a full collection video of these. So I'm just going to run through them right quick. This is Santal Blanc, one of my favorite sandalwoods. It's a fig. No, this isn't the figgy wood. This is a really clean, crisp sandalwood. Love it. Hard to actually, this one isn't as hard to find, but it's still around. So we have Santal Blanc, Fils de Joie. This is Fils de Joie. It is a honeyed floral. It is thick on the honey, but it is a sexy vibe with ylang ylang and jasmine. Feminine Dubois. I talked about this in my cozy fragrances, so I'm not gonna go into this one. Y'all watch that to see what I said about Feminine Dubois, but it is a plum. It is very holiday appropriate. This is La Verge de Fer. Very hard to come by, but this is a cold fragrance. It has a metallic note in it, but what it is like this really crisp, cold lily of the valley with pear. I love this fragrance. I'm searching for it to get a backup bottle. De Tour Noir. This is a classic. This is a tuberose with coconut, well known, well loved. This is a beautiful, stunning tuberose. Took me a while to like it, but now I do. Claire de Musk. This is one of my favorites. You see, this is so hard to come by right now, and I absolutely love it. It is a clear, beautiful musk fragrance. Shergi. This is well known. This is a really heavy unisex, has a hay note. It really is something you have to try for yourself because at first I didn't like it, but now I do. 5 o'clock au gingembre. This is a ginger tea with a little biscuit. So this is like warm and cozy ginger tea. La Dame Tous in Cage. This is a really simple fragrance. It has ylang ylang and it has frangipani. So it has white florals in it with a little almond, so it gives it a little powderiness. It's a really heavy fragrance though. Even though it has those notes in it, this is better for cooler weather. Not necessarily winter, but spring when it's still cool. La Fille Tour de Fer. I just got this year and I love it. It is a really watery fresh rose. I love watery fresh roses, and it is one. Fleurs d'Oranger. I'm not gonna say anything else but say if you know, you know. This is one of my favorites. I need a backup. My favorite, absolute favorite, Orange Blossom. This is Nuit de Cellophane. This is a French version of a fruity floral. It has a very stylish vibe to it. I always say I picture myself on the Riviera, French Riviera, in like a 60s movie, wearing in a convertible, with my hair blowing in the wind with a scarf around it. You know, beautiful, gorgeous. That's what it is. It has a little powderiness because it does have some almond in it. It's musky, it's floral, it's fruity. It's just a really pretty fragrance for the spring and summer. Tuberose Criminal. This is one of the hardest tuberoses, most challenging tuberoses I own. It's really hard to explain, but it's really tough and very, how do I want to say it? All right, it's got a little spiciness to it, but it is a really in your face white floral, tuberose forward. It's not for everybody. It's not for most, matter of fact. All right, so this is Sunscape. We're going to talk about Pearlescent Parfums and Gallagher. This is Sunscape. This is a sunny, bright fragrance. It has a melon note in it, and they say it has Texas sunshine, and that's exactly what it feels like. It feels sunny and bright. All right, next up is Tonka Azure. This is a blueberry champagne vibe. And as it dries down, you do get the tonka, so it becomes a little more sweet, kind of vanillic. But that's what this is. This is a tonka vanilla, but it starts out like a bubbly champagne vibe. Tonka Azure. Midnight Jasmine. If you know, you know. I'm not even going to talk anymore about her. I probably need a backup bottle of her soon. Sexy, sexy plum. Rose all day. If you want to smell like, I talked about this in my cozy fragrances. If you want to smell like an apple crisp, if you want to smell like an apple dessert, everybody be talking about these other things smell like apple desserts. Y'all are sleeping on rose all day. This is underrated now. Rarely gets talked about, but so good. Vanilla Silk. This is a dry vanilla with amber. So it is what it says on the front. It is a musky, woody vanilla, very dry, very good for somebody who doesn't want it to be sickly sweet vanilla. Has a silkiness to it. Behold Patchouli, my absolute favorite patchouli, and I am not a patchouli hoe. I'm not a patch hoe, but I like this one. It has this chocolatey orange. It's like an orange, chocolatey, honeyed, in kind of incensey. It is so good, to the point that when I tried it and sampled it finally, I was like, oh man, and oh shit, and I had to go buy one. So that is Gallagher and Pearlescent Parfums. All right, next up we're going to talk about Histoires de Parfums. We have 1804, which is it starts out pineapple-y, and it has like this stewed pineapple vibe. I like it. Not everybody likes it, but 1804. And then as it dries down, it gets more vanilla, and it really does have this kind of stewed pineapple vibe to it. It can be worn at this time of year. I'm not going to do those yet. This is 1890. This is kind of like a spicy, hold on. Ouch, ouch. All right, so this is 1890. When it starts out, it's very spicy from the ginger, but as it dries down, the ginger goes away, goes away, and you really get this rosy orange blossom with some leather and incense. It really morphs into almost like this really tough fragrance, but in the beginning, it's like a really spicy, kind of spicy orange blossom. So that's 1890. 1826. This is a gorgeous powdery vibe. It's one of my favorite powdery vibes. It has violet in it. It has a little ginger in it. But then as it dries down, it has some incense and some white musk. and a little vanilla. It's a really gorgeous fragrance. I love it for powderiness. It's a really gorgeous ladylike. It's a very interesting, elegant, powdery vibe. Now this is Outrequidant. This is kind of fruity with a little spiciness, and it's a beautiful orange blossom. But this is a heavy, thick, very winter appropriate fragrance because it does have some spices in it, and it does have the fruitiness, but the fruitiness is more of like a thick, it's more like a stewed fruits because it does have pineapple in it, but the pineapple seems a little more cooked. And then as it dries down, you get the leather and you get sandalwood. It's a really gorgeous, sexy fragrance. Not everybody, it's not for everybody, but hey. Next up is Proleaks. Proleaks is a sexy rose oud. It's kind of hard to come by, and I know you're like, sexy rose oud. How many rose ouds do you have? I have a lot, as you could tell, but I really do enjoy this one. This one is hard to come by. It comes in and out of stock, very infrequent. But what it is like a spicy rose oud with some incense in it. So it starts off with like cardamom and ginger. So it comes off very spicy, very smoky because it has tobacco in it and frankincense. So it's like a spicy, smoky rose oud. Real fellas, if you can find this, no, you will smell so good. Now, these are my tuberoses. And these are the ones that got me into Histoires de Parfums. So let's talk. This is tuberose number 1. Sometimes you can still find this one. This one is interesting because when it starts out, it has a really serious, strong burst of iris. The thing about the tuberoses from this particular collection is there's tuberose on every level, but this one starts out with a really strong iris, so it comes off kind of irisy, and I'm talking about a floral iris. But then as it dries down, you get the tuberose, and you get some you get a little powderiness from cacao, so it becomes powdery. So it's like a powdery, beautiful iris tuberose. This is tuberose number 2, virginal, cherry tuberose. I cannot explain it any more than that, but it is a cherry tuberose, and it is gorgeous. This is a spring, early summer vibe. This works really well at that time of year, especially on a breezy day. You are going to kill people with your sexy, sweet tuberose. And finally, number 3. Now, I'm going to tell you about number 3, but number 3 is really hard to find. I don't know if it's come back in stock in years at this point. This is my darkest, my deepest, my sexiest tuberose. It's called Animal for a reason. It has white tobacco in it. It has a little plum in it. So it's a plummy tuberose with the smokiness to it. This is one of my favorite tuberoses. It is my darkest. It is not playing with you. So this is tuberose number 3, Animal. All right, so everything is back in place, and Perfume Collection Part 3 is over. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk later. Have a great day. Have a great night. Whenever you watch this, on to the next part of the collection.